Hi, my name is Professor Ewing and I teach developmental math on the Wiley campus, and today we're going to talk about how to add integers. So you might be wondering, what are integers? Well, integers are whole numbers and their opposites. An opposite is just changing the sign. So if I have negative numbers and positive numbers, those are going to be opposites of each other. -1 and +1 would be opposites. They're on opposite sides of the number line. And of course, 0 is included in this as well. So we're going to model positive and negative numbers, and I'm going to model them using a blue circle with a plus sign for positive numbers and a red circle with a negative sign for negative numbers. We have a thing called a neutral pair. And a neutral pair is when you have a negative and a positive circle together, and they neutralize each other. So a positive with a negative would add up to 0. So a +1 and a -1, since they're opposites of each other, will add up to give you 0. Let's look at an example. I have 5 plus 3. This means I have 5 positives plus 3 positives. Well, when I add up how many positives do I have all together, or how many blue circles do I have all together, I have 8 positives, or 8 blue circles. That seems pretty easy. So let's look at the next one. Wow, now we have 5 negatives plus 3 negatives. So this seems like it might be a challenging problem. Well, I just put 5 red circles here with 5 negatives. Okay, and then I add 3 more negatives, so 3 more red circles. Well, how many red circles do I have all together? Well, I have 8 red circles. So in other words, I have 8 negatives, or -8. Well, that seemed pretty similar to the last problem. So what if we have different signs though? What if I have a positive number and a negative number? So I have 5 positives, but then I add 3 negatives to that. Well, now it's challenging. Well, remember those neutral pairs that I told you about? That if we have a positive and negative together, then they add up to 0. Well, we have a neutral pair right there, and another one there, and another one there. So after we neutralize those, what do we have remaining? Well, we have only 2 positives. So our answer is +2. Let's try one more like that. So if we have 5 negatives, and I add 3 positives to it, well, a similar thing happens here. We have 3 neutral pairs, right there, there, and there. So what do we have remaining? Well, we have 2 red circles, or 2 negatives. So -5 plus 3 is equal to -2. Now what happens when we can't model our addition with smaller numbers? With this, we can make small circles and look at them. But what about when we have big numbers like 20 plus -47? Well, I noticed that I have some positive numbers and some negative numbers, which means I have 20 blue circles and 47 red circles if we were going to model this. Which one has more, the blues or the reds? Well, I have 47 reds, which is more than 20 blues. And if I can make some neutral pairs with those 20 blues, then how many reds would I have left over? Well, 47 minus 20 would be 27. So I have 27 red circles, or we could say -27. Now what if we had -32 plus 40? Well, in this case, I have more blues than I have reds because 40 is bigger than 32. So I have 40 blues and 32 reds. So because I have more blues, and when I subtract 40 minus 32, I have 8 leftover blue circles. So I have a +8. Now what if we have -14 plus -36? Well, these are both negative, which means I have 14 reds and I have 36 more reds. So if I'm adding reds plus reds, I have altogether 50 red circles, which would be a -50. Again, my name was Professor Ewing, and thank you for watching Adding Integers.